the volume down, but maybe you can see the statements and everything people make. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be a little delayed, but you can see the numbers pop up there and everything. You know what I mean? All right, all right. 1-2-1-2, brother Johnny, Groove 19 Promotions, the 19 Report, telling it like it is with the big homie Dale Castro Powell. We will begin the broadcast now. The power of manipulations, man. I hope you will tell everybody about it. Please share it because we're gonna go in real heavy today, and Dale got some information he want to go ahead and share with us right now. So I'm going to turn the mic over to him, and I'm going to be quiet. Let's get it going.
Welcome, everybody, to Tell It Like It Is. Once again, like I say, this is Dale Castro and the brother John Mill, and we back at it again Sunday. Hope your Sundays is pleasant.
Yep.
And I wanted to bring some information that was brought to me by one of my great sisters. I got to give her credit, Keith.
Do it to it, man.
Erica Candy.
That's what's up.
Erica Blandon. Y'all know who, my man Marvin's wife.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk today about manipulation because manipulation holds a lot of weight in the community, it holds a lot of weight in the country, and a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but it's the father of killings and a lot of things.
All right.
Let's talk about the meaning of manipulation. A deliberate attempt to influence or elicit a desired person from another person and influence to change the behavior or perception of others through abusive, deceptive, or underhanded tactics. Are you with me on that one, Brother Jay?
I'm right on it, bro.
Oh,
I'm gonna be quiet and let you bring this point straight home, man. You know, if I got to chime in, I'm gonna chime in, but you got the fire, man. You come in the door wide open, so right. give it to him.
Here we go. There are a lot of signs of manipulations. Oftentimes, we are so blind about what we think is love, we tend to do the tolerant things we don't normally do.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Rewind that, man. Say that one more time.
There are a lot of signs of manipulation, and oftentimes we are blinded by what we think is love.
That's right.
We tend to do and tolerate things we don't normally do.
Right.
Y'all want to get to the point?
Right.
Y'all ready for this?
Right.
Let's start off with one.
Let's get it.
Do I think we all have been victims of manipulation? I think we all have.
Give me an example.
Some point in our life. Manipulation. Somebody telling you that they love you. No matter what you think other people may state or say, they would use you in a manner, and that's a form of the manipulation.
Oh, glory, man. I got to do a Esther from Fred Sanford on that. Because I fell in love, man, and I was with this woman, and I was supposed to be with this woman, I thought, for the rest of my life. And, boy, look at here. Go ahead.
Man, yes. Do I think we've ever manipulated someone also?
Yes.
We have.
Yes.
We have.
Yes.
Yes. The reason being is because it's merely an act of persuasion. Mm-hmm. Once one feels comfortable with you and they see you easily convinced, they will begin to execute manipulative behavior.
Right. They call it finessing now on the streets.
Right.
They call it finessing.
This is not a biased process. It happens. And women and men, sadly, I feel it may be occurring with women more than men. Now, do you agree with that?
Say that again. I like to hear things over and over, man, for clarification.
This is not a biased process. It happens more with women than men. Sadly, I feel it may occur with women more than men.
So you're saying that men manipulate women more than women manipulate men, or vice versa?
That's exactly the first thing you said.
Okay.
It happens. What happens more with women being more manipulated? I think that's what the point is.
Women being more manipulated.
Yes.
I agree with it because I know that women are manipulated because of their heart of love. They have a genuine love, right, and a genuine desire to be in relationships. They have a zeal for being a part of an organization.
Right.
When it comes to church, they're manipulated. When it comes to relationships, they're manipulated. And sometimes even in their own thinking, they're manipulated.
Right. What's up, Brian Cornell?
And that, in my opinion, man, great point. Let's go ahead with it. I want to hear some more.
Okay. All right. Here are a few examples of manipulation, and most may not think they're being manipulated. Number one, they will twist your words.
Okay.
Lie by omission. They will leave out important details that changes the meaning of the word being said. I didn't tell you about the party because I knew you would have been mad and make things out to be nothing.
Wow. That's heavy, man. That's the definition of finessing now.
Right.
That's
What's
how.
Up, Mike? Hey, mama.
Yeah. That's how finessing goes right now. People twist words.
Right.
To make you feel guilty for knowing that you're telling the truth.
Exactly.
or make you feel guilty for knowing that what you're feeling is the truth. They twist that.
Man, it gets even more juicy.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
They say something but mean another.
Right.
They guilt trip you too.
Now, when you say they say one thing and mean another, you got an example of that?
Oh man. Oh man, we're not in a relationship. We're just friends with benefits.
Right. I'm in a relationship, but it's complicated, so you can cheat with another person.
Right, exactly. And they will guilt trip you too. That's another one.
Right.
Yes, sir. And,
right.
Their passive aggressive projection, blame shifting and blame to someone else. Why are you getting upset? Why would they tell you? They say one thing about me, but they're spying on me.
Right.
They don't want you. They don't want us to be happy.
They don't want to see us happy.
They're lying on me.
Right.
It's always about them.
Right. That is
great bullet point.
That is a great point about egotistic people and what they call narcissistic people. Right. They are always the victim.
Right.
Even when they're the one lying, they just don't want to be caught in the lie. So they're always the victim. And the black community takes pride in finessing each other.
Exactly.
We take pride in hustling women and tricking women and tricking each other.
Right.
We take pride in that. So this power of deception, does it have any value of good in it that you know of? Let's move on and see what you got, man.
Okay. We don't see things for what they really are. Sometimes, and it may take a while for us to realize that you're being used in a manner. And some people may offer their opinion to you, hoping you will see and understand what's being noticed in the beginning. We may not believe in that so to be true. They could go for a while without notice. Eventually, you may see things becoming very draining, and things that were so simple become hard at this point in time. Stop right there. That projection alone.
Right.
You do become drained.
Right.
Anybody being used become drained. It is a bad thing. Manipulation has manipulated minds, souls, and bodies.
Yep, and it's like dealing with a vampire. Just like you said, they draw all of the energy out of you.
Exactly.
And they don't stop until they've broken you. Like I've told many people in the past, in my last marriage, I almost had on panties, man. I had one leg in one panty. I'm not afraid to say it.
Right.
Because when you love someone, you put your heart in that thing.
Hey, Chrissy, Lastasia.
What's going on? You put your heart into something and you go in literally blind because you trust that person.
It's almost like with the love thing, like people who they sleep with somebody that they like, the phone conversation build up, you sleep with that person. But you're not in a relationship. Now, if something happens drastically, not only a baby or catching any kind of disease or anything, first thing is that we're not together.
Right.
You're pregnant. We're not together.
Right.
Manipulation.
Right.
Always come from people who are very, very hungry to get something and gain something.
And I would encourage any male or female, but females in particular, that if a man can't hold himself off long enough to get to know you before he tries to get into your underwear, if you are horny and you need to have sex, parental discretion is advised. I guess you go ahead and do it.
Right.
But my suggestion to you to save your moral standards is to not do it, and give that man time to show his true colors. Now, manipulation in churches and among people in general, I want to read this definition again. Dale is elaborated on it, but manipulation is the action of manipulating something in a skillful manner.
Hey, Latoya.
And if you don't know how skillful people are, then you will never know that you're being manipulated. Now, the second definition of manipulation is the action of manipulating someone in a clever or unscrupulous way.
Right.
When a person begins to manipulate you, and I'm saying specifically about relationships because we get married, we get in relationships, and there is no genuine love in the relationship. There is no genuine desire to grow in the relationship. There is a lack of ability to cooperate with each other because we have manipulated and lied so long.
Hey, Erica.
We no longer have the ability to tell the truth. Now, what else you got for us on that?
Oh, man. When it comes to that manipulation, the one bullet point I wanted to hit on the most, y'all be patient with me because it's so juicy. Like I said, eventually you may things become draining to you that was so simple, hard at this point, it's time to start evaluating your situation and figure out what you think is best for you. Will this be easy? No. Will you blame yourself? Yes. This relationship is not healthy. It leads to a physical abuse, and sadly, one life could end in a demise.
Right.
Now, let's talk about that. One person's life can end in that demise. Have manipulation been the biggest killer in our country?
I would say so.
I would say so.
I would agree with that 100%.
Do preachers, judges, politicians, senators, city council people, do they manipulate?
Yes, they do. Verbally, and they use visual magic. They show you things that aren't real.
Right.
And what I mean by that is that they love to have parties and things of that nature to keep you happy. But the underlying reason why you voted this person into office never gets addressed, never gets taken up. The underlying reason why you gave yourself to this man or this woman in a relationship never gets fulfilled because they weren't able to fulfill it from the jump. They were lying.
Have our cultures, do you feel like our cultures have been manipulated?
Our culture, black culture. Now, I can't speak about anybody else's culture. But black culture from the Bible to black history, to making everything that is of importance a white face, we have been manipulated. And we have been taught to love what is other than ourselves and hate what is of ourselves. That's why women, don't get mad with me, but you can if you want to.
Right.
That's why we love to put on blonde hair, blue hair,
purple.
Green hair, purple hair. That's why we love to put on these big lashes, even though our lashes are beautiful already. That's why we love to accentuate our sexual parts.
Right.
Because that's something Hollywood used to do.
Right.
And now Hollywood has been introduced to the people, and the whole world is acting now.
Right.
Reality TV is what it is.
Right.
You know?
And manipulation, I think gangs manipulate.
Yes.
They manipulate.
Teach on that.
People
feel
like we got to touch it. And this is no disrespect to what you may portray that you are, but for me, growing up in the city, once being a part of a gang, gangs manipulate because they find that void that you're missing inside of your heart. You want to be loved. You want to belong to something.
Right.
You have to prove yourself. Go hit this guy or go do this.
Right.
And really, we have been manipulated to think that we're fighting over colors that really belong to us.
Right. Or a block that belongs to us.
And we don't own anything
you don't own
on that
any
block.
of it. Nothing. None of it you own it. And the police department and the government will let you know that when they are ready to let you know it.
Exactly.
But until then, there was a video just put out. I posted up, and I think Patrick just reposted, and other people did.
A lot of people got locked up behind that.
You couldn't tell them they weren't outlaws. Just I'm the boss.
Right.
But now you're on camera, and someone says, "Look, that's enough of that. Go make an example of at least 20 of them." Now, did they take those big guns they had and shoot it out with the authorities?
No.
They didn't, did they?
No, not at all.
But if it was another gang, they would have go toe-to-toe with them. Pow, 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 pow.
Right.
But
we'll shoot each other, but we won't shoot the people coming for us.
Right. So the manipulative thought in that is that you think you a gangster.
Right.
But a gangster, Al Capone and them used to go to war with the police.
Hey, Dorothy,
you know what I mean?
Darby.
What's going on, people?
All gangsters change once they get behind that wall.
Right. So
all people change. One thing an old head told me, and I say this, old head said, everybody think they a gangbang or think they this and that. But let me tell you, they all got to do one thing. And I said, what's that? He said, get some sleep.
They got to sleep.
Right.
They got to sleep.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is where we are right now in society, where people are being manipulated.
Look at G Boogie. What's up, G Boogie?
That's your man.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, my mother? What's up, Michelle? Nah, I'm going to get you. You ain't tell me you was in South Carolina. We'll talk later, Mom. I'm going to get you. Dorothy White.
What's going on?
But manipulation, back to what we were saying. People have been manipulated to kill people, to steal something from people.
Right.
Also manipulated to love. And let me tell you, love is one of the most hurting things in the world. To manipulate somebody and make you think that you love them when you don't.
Yeah, that's pimp stuff.
And that you're there for you, you know?
That's pimp stuff. Pimps go to the heart.
We need to start looking at the signs of manipulation, addressing them,
right,
and trying to get out of manipulation situations.
Yeah.
Manipulation is also with the jobs.
Right.
What's up, G Boogie? We see you. Old union partner of mine.
Okay, that's
but
right.
Jobs manipulate too.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get all this overtime.
Right.
All this overtime. Hey, police, all this overtime, but then tax it.
Yeah, you're going to get taxed for it.
Tax it.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to get taxed for it. So it's all the thing about manipulation that I encourage people to learn is that when a society builds itself, we were manipulated into slavery.
Right.
Free labor.
Right.
Helped to build this society, this place called America.
Right.
Then it was flipped on us. Stop complaining. Stop whining. At least we took y'all out of Africa. At least y'all doing better than y'all were doing. So when you ask a black person to speak their language, they don't have one.
We are manipulated into the cops thinking that it's okay to kill blacks.
Right. Right.
You know, I'm going to call it the way it is.
Right.
We are manipulated to
like
kill
that's
each
normal.
other. Yeah.
Like that's normal.
We are manipulated that it's okay to kill each other.
Jail
it's okay
is
for
normal.
the cops. Jail is normal.
Right.
Riding out for your man. I always see people say, free my man, but you wasn't trying to free him and tell him to do the right thing.
Right. Right.
The consequences
behind it. Right.
Speaks very loud volumes.
Right.
We are manipulated to thinking that all we're supposed to do in this lifetime is pay bills, and you just pay bills and you die. And
you die. You enjoy a little bit of life. You work, you pay bills, you die. That is the way we are taught to think. But when you have something of value, when whatever title you call God taps you on the shoulder and you know that there's something bigger than yourself, you have to begin to offer to others the value of your knowledge, the value of your wisdom, the things that you've learned through life. You have to figure out a way to share that with other people. And you don't share that arrogantly. You don't share it boastfully like you know everything. And you don't share it to be manipulative.
Right.
You share it in hopes that they will build something off of what you've been given. Right.
We also, here's a powerful point, Erica. Oh, y'all talking tonight. Yeah, we ain't finished yet. We also been manipulated into the traditional marriage.
Right.
Of acting like you're happy when you're not. Of acting like that things don't matter. And the same fire you went into your marriage with that you don't have to uphold.
Right.
And also in relationships, not just speaking for marriages. And we're manipulated in so many ways that I could sit up here all night and tell you about manipulation. But I'm just going to tell you like this. We have to break the curse and the cycle of manipulation.
Right.
We are manipulated to thinking that the town that we live in is upheld to a different standard when you see Welcome to Manning.
Right.
But there's a lot of things that Manning is not offering our young community and
they won't offer it.
They won't.
But I don't blame anyone for that, with the exception of the people who can do something about it that don't do it.
They don't do nothing because they're limited.
Right.
Somebody put them in their position.
Right.
What's up, Smitty? My twin bro, what's going on? Melissa Servit, thank y'all for tuning in.
Hey, Missy, what's going on?
It's so important, man, that we start paying attention in our community of how we're being manipulated.
Right.
Every time we get free space in our community, the first thing we throw up is a title on place or a mechanical shop.
Right.
We don't have no society, children aid society like for the children to go to. We don't have nothing to bring our kids to.
Right.
To have any kind of leisure time for themselves. We always force them that we buy you nice clothes, go to school.
Right.
We don't enground nothing else in their head.
Right.
We manipulate each other.
Right.
Of acting like we love each other. Families have manipulated each other to act like they love each other when they don't. And when you sit at the table and you talk about your family member to your enemy or whatever, and a lot of people think that makes them look good.
Right.
You're manipulating to think that you're making yourself look better than your family member.
Right.
You come off of that tree.
Right.
Excuse me today, Brother Jay, but I was
waiting
on
it. I tell you, I'm being quiet, man.
We're manipulated that every year that we get up for a high school reunion, that it's all good when the prices is going up.
Right.
Because they don't want you to have fun.
Right.
And the other color is not always involved in these reunions.
Right.
Did you start noticing that?
Right.
That they go do something totally different.
Totally different.
Just like it was told to me how.
That's absolutely
Do you know
true.
that certain people, they have agendas and things way deep in the country.
Right.
So they won't be bothered.
So they won't be even associated with what's going on in the
We have been manipulated that Striped Bass Festival was about having good times and fun.
Right.
When it's really about some fish.
Right. And making money for making money.
And then shut your money down because look, we're gonna tell y'all this what time y'all going home that y'all not gonna be able to party no more.
Right.
So we absorb all that liquor, all that getting nice that day. Then we take it to the club later on and shoot each other.
And start having trouble. Later on that night.
Right.
We bring that trouble.
Manipulated.
All manipulations. Finances and anything else that you can name is a method of manipulation. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that years ago. It's called tricknology. It is a science.
Right.
It's a science of how tricks and lies. How we can make you believe something that is not necessarily true. Smoke and mirrors.
Absolute, Brandon?
What's going on? It's like mirrors.
Right.
And what I don't like to see, Dale, is people waste a lot of time.
We
waste a lot of time thinking that we're doing something of value when in reality it's not. But one of the main things I dislike, two things. How we always allow someone to come to Manning from out of town.
We pay them though.
And pay them.
But we don't pay. We're not gonna pay our people though.
But the local people, the music won't be the same. We can't afford big studios like that.
Right.
No, the bass won't be the same. We can't afford big studios like that.
Right.
But if you begin to pay the local artist, the local performer, then they take that money and we build bigger and better things.
Right.
But we're not ever given that opportunity because the outsiders can manipulate us. Jay-Z and them come to town and we spend $100, $200 on a ticket. Then your man goes in the studio and tries to make. Now, I don't agree with all the crappy music we put out.
No.
I believe that the talent that is there is not out yet.
Right.
Because they're manipulated into thinking you got to talk about guns and drugs and all that bull jive. Right. But when it comes out, we got something of value that we can use, but we got to financially support these people. But we don't. Because the manipulation of the outsider always controls us.
Exactly.
Now you got, listen, you across town, I was across town.
Right.
You saw how the Florida guys came in,
took over cross town,
and
everybody wanted to talk like a Florida dude.
Am I lying or what? Now?
Yes.
You see how different groups come in right now and capture all of our young people through manipulation.
Exactly.
You see how the women are ready to ride or die for these dudes.
Right.
But not for us, not for the locals, not for the people who've been here for them. They're not going to do it.
The biggest manipulation that I have seen is, and I'm going to say, and I'm looking directly in this camera when I say this, females, stop taking care of these dudes who don't want to work. Letting him drink all your milk, drink all your kids'
don't have a
sons,
desire.
And the only time he want to go out with you is when you get your food stamps. He's in Walmart yelling down the aisle just like you with the pajamas on.
Right.
Baby, they got 2 for $5.
Right.
Manipulation is one of the European culture values.
Right.
Thank you, G Boogie, for that one.
It's pimping.
It's pimping.
It's pimping. That's
Stop
what
it.
it is.
Stop thinking that when your kid have a problem in school, it's automatic that your kid is bad. Go to the school,
find out,
and see what's going on. Sit up in those classrooms.
Right.
The way you sit under the dryer and get your hair fixed or hair done, sit up and find out what is going on.
At the same time, assuming that don't assume that it's the teacher's fault either.
Exactly.
Now, teachers back when I was coming up, they really desired for you to learn. So their focus, they went to college to teach you what they learned.
They got 2 of them in the classroom now.
But now they got to spend half of the class period trying to calm our
kids down,
unruly children down.
Exactly.
So I don't like parents that come to school running down on a teacher when they don't know the whole story. My son stopped talking to me for a long time. What's up, Kwame? Because
Brandon, what's happening?
He called me to come to the school.
Uncle Bone?
He called me to come to the school because him and his girlfriend were having it out with Mr. Bazard, I think.
Oh, my God. Y'all know the legendary Bazard.
I didn't go into the school on my son's side. I didn't go in there saying, Mr. Bazard, you were wrong. Right. I went in there to find out the whole story.
Details.
And when I turned to him and say, you're wrong, my son. Oh, I was the devil for a long time.
Ooh.
But I had to do it.
Right.
Because he wasn't going to manipulate me, and Mr. Bazard wasn't going to manipulate me. Exactly. I was going to find the story, and I was going to use discernment and weigh the story and say, okay, based on what I heard, son, you're wrong.
Right.
Most parents don't do that.
Right.
Somebody's always jealous of their child. It's always somebody else's fault. We got to balance the scales on that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And children don't have a problem manipulating their parents. I don't want to break your heart.
Exactly. They will manipulate.
What's up, Mo Beaks?
Mario King. What's happening?
Yeah. I don't know. He's adding to the story. No, I don't want anyone to think that we got these perfect children.
No, we don't.
And I want you to understand how Satan works in the mind, because it starts right in your own mind, and it reflects itself based on your actions.
Even in church. Even in church, the preachers are becoming manipulative also.
They've been manipulative.
When you pass that collection plate around and everybody done gave you what they got, then you pass it back around talking about you got a goal.
Right.
You got a goal. You're manipulating the people.
Right.
That it's all about money
Because
sometimes.
they're scared of you.
Everybody wants
because
a free
they're scared of you. Because I talk about ministers like I talk about myself or like I talk about you, Dale.
Nobody's perfect.
And,
right.
and people get they get silent when I start talking about ministers.
Nobody likes the truth.
Because they think they're gonna go to hell or something. And I'm like, you already in hell. You know what I mean?
Trying
but
to make it
how
happen.
you gonna allow someone to manipulate you into thinking that
Look at Lato. What's up, Lato?
your attendance and your presence and your money gonna buy your way into a better life? That is not true.
Well, that's what we're being brainwashed to think.
Yeah.
Bring all your bills to the front of the pew, and the lights still go off.
Mm-hmm.
You
You're
know?
still sick.
You know.
You're still going through dialysis. You still got to go through everything that they touched you
Preachers
and
getting
prayed on.
mohawks now. They dressing like the rappers.
Tight pants.
We're going to touch on that one later.
Yeah, tight
But
pants, the whole thing. But listen, I told y'all years ago that I called them out, and I call them out again. Because I don't believe that anything related to teaching people of a higher power, of a God, should be tainted.
I don't believe.
I believe it should be as clean as it can be, and I'm not using that bull job that everybody loves to use, Dale. That nobody's perfect. Well, hell, I know nobody is perfect.
Because we wouldn't be here.
But we would. Hey, but Jesus said in the scripture, "Be ye perfect," and what that means is work towards perfection for the rest of your life. Right? I know I do something wrong. I gotta try to fix it. Right or wrong.
You're right.
So I don't play that nobody's perfect and don't judge. Because on the top of that, the book also says to use discernment. Christ says it. And discernment means you weigh the evidence, and based upon the evidence, you can tell who's right or who's wrong.
Doctors, they manipulate.
Right.
They manipulate.
Pill pushers.
Yeah, they pill pushers. They give you everything to make you feel good without telling you what the side effects are.
Right.
They send you to the pharmacy, and they want you to read from what that person gives you on that paper to say what the side effects is. Listen, they don't tell you inside of the office.
I don't share my personal business with anybody.
Right.
That's my personal business. But I will share this particular thing. I've had degenerative disc in my back since doing construction back in the day.
Right.
And I always had to take these cortisone shots, these steroid shots, in my spine, it. And I asked the doctor one day, is this helping my situation? He said, no, it just makes the pain go away. I said, so you telling me that I'm walking around damaging my back more, thinking that I'm better, but really I'm just not feeling what I'm doing, and then when this wears off, it's going to be worse? He said, yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
How many people can vouch?
How many people? So now I said, listen, I'm going to have to deal with the pain. Because I got to know when I'm supposed to stop doing something. I don't want the shots no more.
Right.
So, I'm always walking with my chest up and looking like I'm thinking I'm somebody, which I am. But I do that to balance off the weight on my back because I have to carry that. That is a form of manipulation. Like you were saying earlier, they give you a pill that causes another problem.
And another pill to
fix that problem. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You ever seen when somebody found out, like Brian McKinney? What's up, Brian?
What's going on,
Blood
Brian?
pressure pills are set up to future pills you're going to need. Oh, man, that's deep. What's up, Willie McLeod? That's deep.
Right. Who said that?
Brian McKinney, my boy Brian.
Yeah, well, black folk can definitely bear witness to blood pressure pills.
Are we manipulated to thinking that all black folks just have high blood pressure?
Yeah.
Do you ever see how the Latino people, they eat all that pork?
Yeah.
They don't have blood pressure problems.
Right. Not like we do.
Why?
Good question.
Good question. Why?
It's a good question.
So today what we want y'all to learn, there are many different things when it comes to manipulation.
Right.
And how to be manipulated.
Right.
And the power of manipulation.
Right.
And I hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to touch on this subject here to let you guys know that every topic matter that we bring to you.
Right.
We bring the signs of it, the who, what, the where, whens, and whys.
Right.
And I want to thank Erica Canny, which is Erica Blandon.
That's it?
That's it far as the manipulation.
Okay.
I just wanted to go into one more thing to touch on real quick.
Yeah, no, take your time.
Domestic violence.
Okay.
Do y'all know we're number 6 state of domestic violence? We're number 6 dangerous state of domestic violence.
Right. That's right.
I wanted to touch on that because I feel like that was serious. That's why I want to chop right into that.
Okay.
And there's a message to everybody. If you out there being in a domestic relationship, whether your parents don't know, whether you're in a marriage like that,
especially
especially young people, get out of it.
Yeah.
Because people are dying every day, and it's not okay. I always tell people the saying that love is not supposed to be a hurting thing.
Right.
In this nation, we are going through it.
Right.
In this town, in these cities, South Carolina. Now, coming from Brooklyn, New York, I was always taught to praise the South, because South is where you can go get the greatest education. But when I came down here in 1990, y'all was just as worse as Brooklyn.
Right.
Now, here's my mother, Michelle Knight. Those shots are more damaging. She's talking about you, Keith, the shot that you had got.
Right.
Those shots are more damaging. I've been suffering with degenerated disc disease in my back for over 5 years.
Right. Right.
I totally understand, Mark.
Yeah, they make you gain weight,
Mm-hmm.
and once you gain weight, then your diabetes kicks in, and once you're holding on to all that water in your body, your blood pressure goes up,
Mm-hmm.
causes memory loss, causes erectile dysfunction, it causes sexual,
Everything.
It causes all of
Everything.
these things, but that's not something they're going to tell you outright,
No.
unless you ask. You understand what I'm saying? So I was blowing up. I was getting huge.
Couldn't understand where it was
couldn't
coming
understand.
from.
You understand? Because I walk all the time. Even though I got a bad, I walk. I walk for 30 minutes. So I got this trampoline thing that takes the impact off my back. But I was still suffering, and I wanted to share that information. But the medical industry is $1 billion to $1 trillion industry.
Oh my God!
And anytime you speak against it, and I'm cautious, and I would caution anybody.
We enjoyed it too. Thank you, Miss Solomon. She
I
said she
appreciate
really
that.
enjoyed this tonight.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. And this
Tune in Sundays. We here.
We here all the time. And this manipulation thing,
it's true.
Again, when I'm talking about when I'm talking about me, I'm not looking for sympathy from anybody. No. I'm using the example of my life. That's what you have to use. I'm not trying to tell you anything. I don't want your sympathy. I don't want any of that. I'm trying to use this as a teaching tool. That's what life is for.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, when our children die or get shot by a cop or get shot by another person, that's when we come out and start trying to share their life story.
And you know what? Being like Brother Keith, Brother Jay asked me earlier, was I done on that subject? I am, but I want to just bring back this one thing. We're manipulated to thinking that when somebody get killed, whether they had a criminal record, it's okay for them to die, and nobody tries to figure out what's going on with their case or anything else versus a person who never got in trouble. That's not right. Death is death, no matter how somebody loses somebody. My mother said that they dehydrate your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? One guy, hey, Banny Briscoe, he said, can we talk that music? Can we talk that in the music? You can. And I challenge you guys to start rapping about stuff that's going to catch people's attention, because I'm going to be honest with you.
What does he mean by can you talk it in the music? What does he mean?
He said we can talk that into the music.
Oh, yeah.
Like bringing that into the music. We need to touch on certain things. Erica says we have to become more aware of any procedure and any meds given. Doctors know we are not going to risk a lot. That's the truth.
I know of 3 people, I'm telling you straight up, and my doctor told me that died that shouldn't have died on the operating table because they shouldn't have been operated on. I was told that by the age of 19, if I didn't have open heart surgery,
oh my God,
I was going to die. I'm 50. I'm almost 50 now, right? But I told him, no, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't busting up my chest.
Thank you, Miss Gibson, Mrs. Katrina.
Yeah, we appreciate it. But addressing who said something about the music?
Banny B. Briscoe.
Okay, I want to say this real quick. I was talking about tricknology earlier, the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And the science of the tricknology is the science of tricks and lies. But I want to go into the Oxford Dictionary on the definition of this word, and it pertains to you mentioning music. The first definition says that tricknology is the technique of deception and manipulation employed by a dominant group. The dominant group can use tricknology.
Right.
So if there's a person over you that is dominant, they can utilize tricknology.
Exactly.
It says in quote, it says in parentheses in the Oxford Dictionary, the dominant group, quote, in parentheses, especially a white majority.
Right.
Then it says to disempower a weaker one, and then it has in parentheses, especially a black majority.
Right.
But what I want to touch on, you saying about the music, it says that tricknology, the second definition, is innovative techniques or technology, especially for recording or performing music. So what has happened since Chuck D and them came out is that the movie Colors came out. I never knew anything about a Blood or a Crip till I saw Colors. I was in New York. I was living in New York then. I never knew anything about no Blood, no Crips, no nothing. until I saw that movie.
Right.
And then gangster hip-hop came out. And gangster hip-hop came out and made all of us think we were chumps to talk about anything other than guns, drugs, bitches, and hoes.
Right.
So that totally did a 180 in the music and made people stop telling stories and using music as a creative form of expression, and just talking about all of these bands and these young dudes in Manning talking about all these bands and money they got. I never seen it.
Nah, me either.
I see most of them living at home. I see most of them a burden on their mama. I pass by their homes and I see the grass not cut, the grass not manicured, but they got all of these damn bands. You know what I mean? And look, I know y'all will come by my house and turn your gun sideways and shoot me up. I know it.
But then repent later on.
But you won't do that to the people who arrest you, to the people who bust your head up. You'll do it to me because it's easy. I'm your color.
Brian McKinney said NWA was put together to destroy Public Enemy's message.
The message. Because
Cavalry.
That's absolutely, you absolutely right about it. And Brian, I got to give Brian shots out, man. He comes out with stuff different than the normal. Like your son.
Like my son, right. Daquan Powell, shout out to you, baby boy. Matter of fact, the plug, his album is dropping January the 5th. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to have to get him on,
We're going to bring him up here.
Right.
Yeah, music has changed a lot, man. I've kind of stepped away from it and just let my son sit into it, man. I'm not inspired, really, because these cats around our way, man, they not creative. You know?
They're not.
I got to give it to you, Brian McKinney. You know what I'm saying? You have been in it just as long as I have. And he stayed just doing him.
Yeah.
You know, and I appreciate that. He sets the bar that, hey, he still can rap. And he still can rap.
Right. And Shane, my man Shane, another one.
King Shane.
King Shane is a whole different breed.
I don't listen to all that trap stuff because I know these kids I know your parents.
Yeah.
I knew you before you started even coming up with a career. You don't come from that, you know? You lying to the people to be something you're not. I don't respect that.
That is tricknology. That is manipulation.
You know what I mean?
That is taking a generation. Listen, I was talking, and when back in the 70s, man, we used to call each other blood.
Right.
Before I knew anything about a cuz or blood or any of that. But we say, hey, blood, what's happening, blood?
Right.
So my little niece, just the other day, I called my son. He's 12 years old. I said, hey, blood, go do something for me. And she said, oh, you in a gang.
Woo!
I'm like, what make you think I'm in a gang? Because you call him a blood.
See that?
It's psychological. I said, sweetheart, the only gang I'm in is God's gang. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to get that straight. But no, and not to knock any gangs because there's great power.
I love
there's power in it,
right?
But there's death and destruction in it as well. And we've seen that.
Right.
And this is my warning to you all, especially in the South. We got our waves of drugs and violence, but it's not over yet. Because what is happening is that these young gangsters are trying to finesse and manipulate themselves in a position higher than where they are. But the violence is going to come back out because nothing is being addressed and nothing is being handled in the proper way. So I'm going to find out later on that, Black tricked me.
Right.
Black talking about me. I'm going to kill that nigga. Right. Excuse my language. But that is the way it was with Alpo and
John Gotti
and Rich Porter. Rich Porter and Alpo. That was his right-hand man. But because he was cutting them on the weight, the product, instead of going to him and saying, hey, you cut me on the product, man, I'm cutting you off.
He felt he had to kill him.
He felt he had to kill him.
And it's a lot of deaths due to stupidity.
Right.
Because some people just make stupid moves, and disrespectful people don't live long at all. And I learned that a long time ago.
Right.
But speaking of substance, all music sounds the same these days, is what Russell Pack say. Now, back to some of the people commenting about the music. That's going to be a whole nother subject, and we're going to go in on that. You know, if you can't handle it, I suggest you don't get on this post. Because I see one kid said music is music, dummy. See, that's the kind of stuff we avoid.
That is,
he said people come from different lifestyles. This is my man's son. I'm going to talk to you later. That's very disrespectful. We done. But anyway, that's coming from Banny Bisco.
What did he say? He said
people come from different lifestyles, dummy. He keeps saying that.
He said dummy?
Yeah, he's saying dummy.
Okay, well, I'll take the title of dummy, and I respectfully hold on to the title of dummy because dummy lets me know that I still got some learning to do. But since you think that you're so intelligent, then you don't have to learn anything else.
Right.
But I will tell you this. that anytime it is dealing with music and every song sounds the same, that is not talent.
Right.
That is people following each other trying to impress. Now I know you got guns, man. We had guns.
Right.
We used to rob people for guns.
Well, they didn't stop making guns.
Man, they didn't stop making guns. My squad used to rob. You go to Burger King, you're going to come out with all your shit, everything gone.
Right.
And you're going to leave out of Burger King, and you ain't going to say a word.
Right, right.
There are dudes that can bear witness to that, but everybody can do that.
But I kind of pray for some of the young generation because I know where you already headed at. I've been there, done that, seen it all. So I don't get offensive when somebody make stupid comments.
And you shouldn't. I'm not offended now.
No, because I look at them in the eyes of this, man. I pray for that person because I'm like, oh, it's going to be somebody that's not me to take it to a whole nother level.
I don't get.
The baddest people are in the graveyard or locked up.
Right. No, I don't get involved with with that kind of thing, and I get very I'm passionate.
Disappointed.
I'm passionate
they make me
about
disappointed sometimes.
Yeah, I'm passionate about what I say. But if I call a woman a bitch,
right,
I'm thinking about my daughter and somebody calling her one.
Oh, man.
If I pick up a drug to sell to someone, and I got sons. I got 6 sons. They all grown.
Right.
And they do grown-up stuff. You understand what I'm saying? You can call me an old head or whatever kind
I'm
of
glad
head
to be an old head. You got to live to be an old head.
And, my sons, I don't have to tell them something is happening. If, they call me in a minute. Who is this guy? Who is that guy? Right. And I tell them, listen, we older.
Right.
We don't do that kind of thing.
Nah, we don't.
We don't take life over words. See how
we could be so humble
right.
when somebody plays something crazy?
Right.
Because we done seen it. We already know the outcome.
That's done.
I remember there was a teacher in high school by the name of Mr. Robert Livingston. Nikhil Cooper, what's up, classmate? He said these words, and shout out, rest in peace to my homeboy Leroy Bland and Turbo.
Right.
R.I.P. forever, man.
Right.
He told us one day, he said...
His son doing big things.
Yeah, his son doing big things, man. Rebuttal of all that. He said, if you guys keep going in the direction you guys are going, you're going to wind up in jail.
Right.
He said that to us.
Right.
And we went out and did something stupid one night.
Right.
And wound up in jail the same night.
Right.
And all you can hear is, you guys keep doing, you're going to wind up in jail.
Right.
You're going to wind up in jail.
Right.
When you behind those bars, everything that somebody ever told you
comes back to you.
What? Melissa said, so disrespectful, obviously doesn't know the meaning. Keep it flowing, Del Powell. We will. Hey, Aunt Juan, it's all good.
It's all good. Man.
But the thing I want to say, everything is you're supposed to learn, and whenever you stop learning, you died already.
You died.
You died already.
When you stop learning. I know the culture of music, and I don't want to stay on this culture of music.
Yeah, I don't,
because that's the only time somebody came with a rebuttal when we start talking about music. All of this stuff we talk about, violence, rape, all of these things we talked about, that's what people touch. You know why? Because we have been manipulated into thinking that the only thing black folks got is baseball, is sports,
and music
and what's the entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's all we are. So when you think somebody is talking about that, you want to defend it.
Right.
I've had people that threaten to come and kill me on broadcast because I say, wow, your song sounds good.
Right.
But then you got to use the word nigga all the time in it.
Right.
Nigga, I do what I want to do, nigga. I come to your house and kill you, nigga. And look, man, I know you will.
That's because there's not a lot of no mans in the world. There's a lot of yes men.
You understand?
Just because this is my homeboy, he'll kill somebody, he'll shoot somebody, he'll do this. Everything he said means yes. No. Because somebody can kill him.
I had a friend of mine.
You live by the gun, you're going to die by the gun. That's a known fact, my brother.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that I loved. I loved that dude, man. I'm going to call his name Eric Davis. You know Eric.
Yeah, Eric Davis. Shout out E. Yeah, that's my big bro. He hold me down when I go to
He
Florida.
was a raw gangster, man.
Right.
I seen that dude do some things I never had the heart to do.
Oh, my God.
He was my man, and I loved him to death. But he had just got into a scrap with a dude, and he put it on him.
Right.
And we went to my house, and he said, man, everybody's scared of me, Keith, including you.
Ooh.
And when he said that, I never talked to him again after that. Because I can't be around anybody who think that they're going to bitch me or I'm going to be afraid of. I got to cut you loose. You understand what I'm saying?
A person scared will kill you, though.
Yeah. They will hurt you.
They will kill you.
And that's a dog. You back a mutt into a corner, and he got his head down, but you put him in that corner.
That's a wrap.
He will growl and tear your behind up and run yiping. You're like, but he done bust you up. You know what I mean?
A lot of people, there's a lot, and that's sad, man, because a lot of the youth really don't value their life anymore.
But I love that dude, and he's still a solid dude.
He is.
I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when I have to deal with people who challenge my loyalty or challenge my courage or anything else like that, that is a form of manipulation. Because a pimp treats a woman bad because she's afraid to leave. And if she ever gets the heart to leave, he'll smack her around.
Right.
So eventually what would have happened in me and this guy's relationship is he going to challenge me physically.
Well, it's in relationships, too, because
thing.
Some guys, they beat their woman up or do something crazy to them. You're not going to leave me. And the girl think that that's love. He loved me.
He don't want me to
He needs my help. I'm going to help him.
I'm going to help him.
No, he don't.
Right.
He's beating you because he's seen it done before, and he think that's the way that life is supposed to go.
Right. So that's my man on $100,000, and he always will be. You know what I mean? And it hurt me to have to cut him loose. But what I'm saying is, even family members.
Right.
I've cut loose family members.
You have to.
You understand what I'm saying? Who think that, well, if you don't do it this way, then I can't. You're not doing it right.
Right.
Now, how do you know I'm not doing it right if I haven't completed it yet? I'm not selling drugs. I'm not robbing nobody. I'm not killing. I'm not stealing. And for the dude that said something about music, that guy right there, Castro, did you get a record deal?
Yeah, I had a couple of them. He just hit me. Yeah,
did I get a record deal?
Yeah, we did. We done that.
So we did that.
With big labels, too.
But my music, and you know my music, was all positive music.
Right.
I never did a gangster song.
And here's a little fruit for that nature. Erica said most of the young people don't understand the quote of you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Right, that's true.
They talk a lot of smack, but they really not about that life and will take something catastrophic. Excuse me, my eyes. Catastrophic. I'm sorry, y'all. I did finish school, but anyway.
It
was small, yeah.
I did a big screen up there for Dale.
And the thing I'm going to tell y'all about me, I'm going to give y'all a little.
There it is.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have pulled that up. I'm going to give y'all a little knowledge, man, because I get kids all the time asking about, and he was just asking about music earlier. This music game is 90% business, 10% music.
Yeah.
You can have 100 mixtapes, but if you ain't got no money to get out there and promote your stuff,
or the desire
or you ready to go sleep in New York right now while it's cold in front of the big place with people you don't even know, or you ready to give up your life for this, it's not going to come to you.
Right.
You know what
I
mean?
My man
you have to work on
What's my man? David Banner.
You have to work at your craft. And a rapper has 3 hot years to stay on top. You better learn how to produce, executive, or write or do something. And you got to be born with a gift. Not the talent. Talent is something you got to work on. See, I was born with a gift.
Right.
And you
have to nurture the gift.
Yeah, I can out-rap anybody.
Right.
Anybody, because I could take your own style and manipulate you with it.
Right.
Manipulation.
Right.
You've been manipulated into thinking that you're going to get on. People have to like who you are as an artist. You have to look like an artist.
Humble.
You have to work. You have to stay humble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For number one.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you about music. Music was owned by the devil first. Do your history. A lot of people don't do their history.
Right. That's
music was ran by the devil first. And I never forced my kid into music. I want to get this straight. My kids grew up around music. So when they took over the craft, everything they do is 90% them.
Right.
And I just give my input if needed or whatever. But they was born with gifts. And I was born with a gift. And that's a gift that you can never take from me. I don't care who say they the man in town, who's doing this or who's doing that.
Right. That's
we all got the same goal, man. We wanted to make it. And for some of us who didn't make it, I'm not mad. I can speak to people. I can get in front of 8,000 people and speak. I've done shows. I've done it with every rapper you can ever name. I remember being at a function, Keith, when Lost Boys was there. Stig always looked out. And we was hot at the time. And I was told by them, listen, man, this is 90%. Music. 90% business. And 10% music. And I was thinking, while I'm doing these shows with all these big guys and they record labels, they're not going to bring you to their record labels so you can take over them.
They won't do it.
We had money behind us, but when my man Turbo died, God rest his soul, I lost the passion and went into producing and doing other things. But I'm saying this to say that, man, you believe in what you love, you go for it. And I've gave 30 years to the hip-hop community. Any way you want to do it. You know what I mean?
Any way you want to do it.
We've had deals. Profile Records and other stuff like that. When major label, everybody's saying they got a record label, but they don't have a barcode. They don't have LLC. They can't even. They could just tell
and
you.
That's not an insult.
It's not an insult. It's real. You have
Listen
to
to what
study.
Dale is saying.
Study your music. You have to study your craft. You have to study. No, how many of y'all got ASCAP cards? BMI cards. Got mine in my pocket. You know what that is? Publishing.
Right.
How many of you got your publishing right?
Right.
You won't go buy that, but you'll go in a club.
They can't publish.
When you jamming at a club and you performing and nobody's moving, you moving the same way. You got a bunch of dudes on the stage.
Right.
That's all you got.
Right.
Work on your craft and your skill. Let your works and your delivery too. You have to know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
That broken
Especially
English
don't call
work.
him a dummy.
Yeah. You got to learn how to talk to people. And you burn bridges where you can get blackballed. If I was a big time syndicate radio show and you called us a dummy, you would never get played anyway. I got love for you because you're my man's son, but I'll talk to you when I see you. Okay?
Right.
Leave it just like that.
Right.
But for all the listeners tonight, I want to thank y'all for tuning in.
I'm stop right there too.
And we're gonna stop right there. I'm gonna tune in.
I want to say something. Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
I want to tune in. I had to get that out.
We got 46. We got about 15 more minutes.
Okay, y'all know that I'm an advocate of music. I have came down here and made people believe in what they can do with music.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm still good friends with a lot of people. People like Mo Beats and those guys out there on their grind. I give them the utmost. I don't hate.
They grinding.
I critique.
They grinding.
And I speak my mind, but I got love for them.
But it's not hate, though.
It's not hate. It's just that I'm not a no-man. I've been there. I've had songs on the radio. Ask DJ Al. I moved around. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've sat there with the big dogs.
Right.
But my time is up. And it's time for do something else. And this is what I love to do.
Right.
I want to do something that speaks to people, and this is on a positive note.
Right.
See, I knew that we would get some kind of rebuttal because it was going too good.
I love
You just made me stronger. Now, when I do come back and talk about music, I'm going to pull up some tracks, and I'm going to let the people tell you what they think about your music and not me, because I don't want to seem like I'm hating.
Right.
Russell Pack, being in my line of work, I have seen a lot behind the scenes. Music today is mostly made to what is trendy. Now, Russell said that. Now, is he a dummy?
Absolutely.
Is he a dummy?
That's absolute.
Russell, you're totally right. I remember working with Russell with his moms, man, cleaning toilets, and I wanted to be a rapper.
Right.
You do it, but just because you want to be a rapper, that don't mean quit your day job now. Right. Still go to work because bills got to be paid.
Hey, moms, we ain't gonna. We ain't let Satan take us off the subject.
Just had to address it. It's done with. But
it's done. I want to close.
Even my mama, she has manipulated me to thinking that I was going to see her this weekend.
She trick you, man.
She going back home. You better be here for my birthday, mama. That's all I can say.
She trick you, man.
Hey, Marita.
I want to read something for you all to show you how powerful Satan operates, and then we're going to close. I want to read two things. I want you to know that Satan comes in the mind. It comes in the mind. It either comes through a thought or it comes through somebody's verbal, someone's words that enters your thought pattern, and it causes things to change. Satan works through visuals as well. This is all manipulation. There is a science of smell. There is a school for smell. Most people don't know that. So when you come into a Walmart, that's why the deli is right there as soon as you come in the door.
Attracts the
because you smell this stuff. I want me some chicken tonight. You want what you, and then the brightest colors are right in the door. And this is not an insult to Walmart. This is all stores. Macy's, the biggest stores you can name. That's how they operate. Visuals and smell.
Malls,
they all do the same thing. Same thing with everything else. So I want to go into Genesis. It's very short. King James Version of the Bible.
Listen up.
And this is how Satan works. Now, God already told these two people, these are allegories. He's already told them, look, you can do everything in this garden you want to do. There's two trees, tree of the knowledge of good and evil, tree of life. Stay away from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Why did he command them to stay away from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? Because when most people get a taste of evil, they can't leave it alone.
Oh, my God.
The tree of life will protect you from that.
Right.
See, that's what parents are to their children. We are a tree of life. Okay. We're saying, don't do that, son. Like you said, the man told you, you keep going that way, you're going to get into trouble. He was your tree of life.
Right.
He's trying to stop you from experiencing 2-3 years of something you don't have to experience. There is no law that says you got to go to jail to be a man. But we think, I got to go. I got to go. Anyway, Jesus talking. The serpent talking. He says to Eve, and he's always going to go, like you were saying, to the woman because of her love. Not because she's weak. She's not weak. Women aren't weak.
It was Adam who bit the apple, correct?
Yeah, it was Eve that bit it. And she passed it over to Adam, but he bit it too.
He was told not to eat it, right?
But he did it too. He's the man.
Okay.
He should have never done it. And the apple is not an apple. The apple is when you bite into something that is not good for you. It's like someone saying, "Hey, Keith, don't smoke that marijuana because it's laced with crack."
Yeah, and then you smoke it.
Now I'm hooked now. You understand what I'm saying? So that's
like smoking in a pigeon pen.
It's a forbidden fruit. Now here go how Satan works. He said, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made." There you go. God is the opposite of devil. Devil is the opposite of God. Devil cannot be independent of God. God made devil. God trumps devil. God good trumps evil. Good takes longer to manifest, but good trumps evil. But evil is put there to manipulate us to manifest what's in us. So when a person says, "Oh, no, I would never do that," the devil comes right in. And God allows it. And he presents every way for you to do it and get away with it. And if you are true to your word, you won't do it.
Oh my
but
God.
If there is something inside of you that wants to do it strong enough, Satan going to pull it out of you.
Oh, my God.
That's the test everybody got.
Well, let me ask you something. When we talking about Eve and Adam, do you think if it was another person there that Adam could have been persuaded not to bite the apple?
No.
No? Why not?
Because it's like being in a relationship, and I'm saying, "Dale, you crazy for being with that girl, man."
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I know I'm banging her too.
Right.
And I'm like, man, you stupid. I love her, man.
Right.
I love her. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
You get out of here. You leave. Because I'm right.
Right.
So when love is involved, and that's what we talked about with manipulation. Love has the negative and positive power of manipulation.
Right.
So the serpent says, he goes to the woman and he says unto the woman, "Yea, have God said ye shall not eat of every tree in the garden?" He talks to the woman first.
Okay.
Once you get the woman in check, you know what this world was after when they brought us into slavery?
What's that?
To break the man, but control the woman.
Oh, my.
Because the woman has the babies.
Oh.
And they don't have to break the man no more once they break the woman.
Something. And I learned something today. Do you know back in the days, man, they would take black people. I hate to jump on this. Slavery times. They would take black people.
We got like 5 minutes.
And put them over a pit.
Right.
And turn us around until they dehydrated us.
Right.
Take pieces of us.
Right.
And it was actually white people that took pictures with pieces of a barbecue. The end. I don't want to say the word.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
All manipulation.
It is manipulation. It is a power of control.
And I'm gonna say this, man, because it was asked by Bill Duke today, man, about even with the Kanye situation. There's something happened after Kanye mama died.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That no matter how much money you got, because we manipulated to thinking that money can take care of all our problems.
Right.
And make things go away in our brain.
It makes things better, but it don't fix.
How many times you walked out the door, Keith, and you just blankly stared and thought about something that happened in, let's say, 78?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, painful.
Painful.
Yeah.
Manipulation.
Yeah. It is our inability to ask questions.
Right.
To just assume.
Right.
Because if Eve were to ask questions the right way.
Why not?
Right. Go to her husband, "Look, man, this dude is saying do this thing. Should I do it?" Then he could say, "Hey, according to what God said."
What's up, Kayla?
Don't do it. Now I want to finish with this. Satan not only convinced people, Satan not only convinced people in a place where God made for them to do opposite of God.
Right.
That's like somebody coming into your house and making your children go opposite of your rules.
Right.
Man, you listen to your daddy like that?
Oh,
shoot, man, I wouldn't do that, man. You understand what I'm saying?
A lot of us got manipulated.
And then they hate you.
Right.
But love their friend. And then they say, "Man, my friend's my only family." How can that be? I changed your diaper.
One thing we forgot about, and I'm gonna say this: kids can be manipulated that if that parent is not with those children, they manipulated to thinking that father hates them,
right,
or that mother.
Right.
That's the most worst manipulation in the world because they grow up like that and they really don't get the full understanding.
Right. Now I got custody of my sons.
See, that was a great thing.
And I never taught them negative about their mom.
Right.
I always tell them take care of your mother.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And they live with their mother right now.
And we should never disrespect each other's parents.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think there's a better thing to have than a mom who comforts you in your time of trouble. A dad can't do that.
What up, Unique?
You know what I mean? So I want to put this out there, and I want everybody, every strong person to understand that you're going to be tested.
Right.
You're going to be manipulated by the thoughts in your mind. Some people get manipulated so much that they become psychotic.
Right.
You know, there are people that are suffering from mental disease, mental illnesses that they can't control because it is so powerful in the brain.
Man.
Now, in Matthew 4:1-11, and we're going to close, in the King James Version of the Bible, Satan was allowed to test Jesus Christ. Now, this is our man. Everybody loves Jesus.
Right.
Right? But even Christ was tested on more than one occasion.
Mm-hmm.
But it says after 40 days of fasting, he was hungry. Says now, when the tempter came to him, he said, first thing the devil says is, if you are the Son of God, command these stones to become bread. Test God.
Right.
In religion today, we're testing God too much.
Right.
The devil is a liar for this. The devil is a liar for that. You're playing a dangerous game in religion. And religion is only a law set up to keep you on the path of God. Spirituality is when you by yourself, but you don't do nothing wrong because the Spirit of God is in you.
Right.
Religion is when you in front of people and you act like you're a perfect person.
Exactly.
But now you're seeing all of this dirt being brought out of the church because they are religious people.
Right.
They follow a law. But when there's no one around to listen, do you know that oral sex is against the law in South Carolina?
No, I never knew that. Well, there's a lot of people going to jail.
Right. You know.
Get the handcuffs. There's a lot of people going to jail.
So you keep that private.
Right.
But you do it. So that is where law comes into play, but you break laws. So I wanted to say that because everybody breaks a law. You know, sodomy. Everybody breaks a law.
Question is, who's the best manipulator? Men or women? That's the question I'll leave you with.
I think that I don't know. It's whoever mine is the best.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
So man. I want to really. We got like 3 minutes left.
Just like when they say kids come from chromosomes, the X to Y's.
Right.
I always say I think it was whoever was enjoying it the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Telling it like it is, bro. Yeah. But manipulation, man, can really, really ruin the mind.
Right.
Because that's all you think about doing to everybody you ever come across.
Right. It is a positive, too. I want to say that when a person is feeling down and depressed, sometimes you have to use the art of manipulation to get them out of that
I'm going to have a good day. You need to have a good day today.
Right. Wake up.
I encourage people.
And that is a plus about church. I don't want you to think I always talk bad about church. I love church. That is a plus. People at the end of the week are usually very down. And when they can go and listen to music about God and feel people's energy about God, that's a good thing.
Well, we got to stop using church just for our own personal reasons.
Self-satisfaction.
Self-satisfaction. When people say, oh, don't worry, God will handle you. You got to stop doing that because, you know, wrong is wrong and right is right.
You know, there was a guy on the internet, and he texted, and he said, I know his name, but I won't say his name. This is private, but it was on the internet. How else are you going to talk to people nowadays? He said he feel like he's being possessed by demons, negativity. And he said, I don't want to hear nothing about Jesus to take care of it. I want to hear answers. Most of the time people can't give you legitimate answers to questions because they're not in a position. That's like mentally ill people are always told that ain't nothing but a demon. It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
It is a chemical imbalance. It is a mental issue.
Well, you know, after you keep editing things out, man, it comes to a filter where the truth is not there no more.
The truth is no longer there, and you believe whatever lie is presented to you.
Exactly.
Right? And that is the power of manipulation on a grand scale.
Like the Bible has been being rewritten so many times.
Right.
How much stuff you ever thought about how much stuff have we edited out or filtered out?
Yeah, it says that. You know what, man? I'm going to read this and then we're going to close. That's a great point.
That's the Bible right there.
Yeah, that's a great point. This is my daddy's Bible.
See, that's a Bible.
But you were talking about the book being changed.
It changes so much.
But they don't lie about it.
Right, okay.
At the beginning of the book says the Bible. It says containing the Old and New Testament. Then it says translated out of the original tongue.
Okay.
And with the former translation, diligently compared and revised. saying we did the best we could with the reinterpretation of the book. But it is not absolute.
Right.
But people take the allegories and the parables in the book called Bible as absolute.
Okay.
When they are put in the book to teach you a lesson about a certain situation in life.
Right.
And when you can't compare the book to your life, it's no good for you.
You're right. Totally right. I totally agree.
What I'm saying? So listen, I'm going to say this. Let Castro close real quick. Say what you got to say.
I just want to tell everybody, thanks for tuning in and Tell It Like It Is. We'll be back next Sunday at 6 o'clock again with another hot topic. I want to thank Erica Latoya Canny. She said, how many times have it been reread, though? The Bible, that's where we all fall short.
Right.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, 81 times that I can count. It's 81 different versions of the book.
It is?
Yeah.
I just want to say keep tuning in and keep supporting your own.
Yeah.
And we will be back with more hot topics, more great things to talk about. And to everybody who came here on tonight, we look forward to you supporting us.
Yeah.
And manipulation.
Yeah.
One of the most biggest killers in our community, in our nation.
Right.
And we got to get a hold of that manipulation thing. And guys, if you manipulating women, it's time to stop it because you're really hurting people. And people do get hurt. You know? And the devil has manipulated some people to think negative things all the time. Right. And we pray that you clear your mind because we're only trying to bring healthy shows to your attention, everyone.
Right. And I don't knock anybody for making a comment. You can say it any way you want to say it. I don't have a problem with that. That's a freedom of expression, a freedom of speech. But my thing is always be prepared to receive the rebuttal.
There's a rebuttal to everything.
Without having to resort to violence or anything like that. So
we can agree to disagree.
We can agree to disagree. Yeah. I don't mind the comments. I enjoy the comments. I think they're great. And at the same time, I want to close with the fact that what we are living since we were brought here, blacks and whites are living it too. It's called social engineering. It is a scientific way of making people think whatever you want them to think.
Exactly.
So, I mean, these holidays, they're not what you think they are. This is social engineering.
It's change.
It makes you to think that you must follow these rituals when you don't have to follow them. And it puts a lot of pressure on poor people that try to keep up with rich people. And a lot of people get into debt trying to keep up. And then you take all of that pain and sorrow that you suffered through getting into debt and give it to another man, Santa Claus.
Man.
You say Santa Claus.
It's funny you say that because my man Jit was talking about how he was in Walmart and the lady ran out of money and she was going crazy about getting all these presents, man. My mom used to always say, I'm going to buy you guys what you need, not what you want.
Get something.
You know what I mean?
And you're going to get clothes and socks and underwear, and then you're going to get one thing to play with. That's what we were told.
Yeah, we got to get smarter in time, man. We can't go broke and neglect a lot of things to try to show these kids certain things that in life they're going to find that's not true later on.
And the book of Revelations is a book of frustration and a book of God saying that's enough is enough.
Right.
So the book of Revelation is the end of the book.
It's about money. And
the end of the book says there was a new heaven and there was a new earth because out of the whole Bible from Genesis to Revelations, God gives you examples of what to do, what not to do, how to grow,
and it's funny
how to understand.
And it's funny because my birthday is on Christmas, and my mom still kept me grounded to understand that, like, look, you're going to get what you need.
Right. You're gonna get what you need and a little something extra, but it's not mandatory.
It's not mandatory.
I don't like.
We don't need to get the house behind and payments, lights turned off, cars going back. Y'all got tax time right around the corner too now. You know you can do that extra stuff later on, but we got to make sure our kids know that there's going to be a time when mom and dad might not be there.
That's right.
How to survive.
That's right. So everything is a science, and I wish that our people in particular will learn that we have to begin to understand science. And I'm going to close because you get no respect for working for someone when you can't do the same for yourself. I'm going to say that again. Right. When you work for someone else, you get a paycheck, but you don't get respect. So if you shut down everything that someone else has done for us, we don't have anything. We don't have schools. We don't have hospitals. We don't have grocery stores. We don't have car dealerships. We don't know how to put up a building, a hotel, a motel. No. We don't know how to do any of that. And that's not racism.
No, it's not.
That's when a black guy that I respect a lot, he's a part of a white gun club. And he's jet black, blue black. But he's in that gun club, and he told me just the other day, man, listen, these white folk going to respect you when you can do what they can do.
Oh, yeah.
But when you can't do what they can do, your words are just words. And that's with any race. The Asians come here and they say, wow, black folk, y'all been here all of this time and y'all don't have nothing?
We don't.
Y'all buy my hair and can't sell your own hair? Y'all don't have no unity of any kind? Because you've been manipulated. The power of manipulation made you think that my ice is colder than your ice.
And a lot of stuff was given to us from our family members who paid $1 for land and stuff years ago.
Right.
We don't structure the value of anything.
You don't. My son just bought 3 acres of land from a lady that says I had 100 acres of land for my dad, but she says we've always been poor.
Oh, man.
With 100 acres of land, still poor, because we don't know how to make land work for us. We don't know how to sell the wood on it. We don't know how to sell it properly. So
we don't know the
we don't know any. We don't know anything. So
tell them we stop working for them and work for us. We can build together more. Tired of seeing us ask them for money. We can't own nothing because we're afraid to stand together.
Agreed.
So right, Terry Johnson.
Agreed.
So right.
Agreed. And it's not it's not racism.
Too.
It's not hatred. It's none of that. It has nothing to do with
that. We gotta build together. Even when you know now, when you talk about certain things, everything is fast food to us.
Right. We want it right now.
Even the products that you get out of the store to take care of your gardens and stuff like that.
You're right.
It's not authentic.
Genetically modified.
Yeah.
We talked about that before. And I don't. We didn't put a time limit on this, but I want you to understand. I gotta stop saying that. I do want you to understand, but you don't have to understand that manipulation is so deep.
It can keep going.
Manipulation is a part of our genetic makeup now in this country.
It is.
And it was brought about through fear. And fear makes you to think that your enemy is your friend when they're not your friend. And that's why I teach my children, if you're afraid of someone, you can't hang with them.
Don't be around them.
You can't be around them. Right. If you're not able to kill them, or when they turn their back, run and bust them in the head, you got to leave them alone. Why? Because that fear will make you a prostitute to whatever they want you to do.
Right.
And I see a lot of people in fear.
Right.
This is Brother Jamil
Del Castro
coming to you live from Manning, South Carolina. This is just a touch of the ice. This is not everything that everybody knows. We're just opening the door.
That's it.
And you can bring anything to the table you want. I don't care what you call me or how you say it. But respect is just respect. We're too humble. And I thank everybody for tuning in.
Thank you.
Hey, next week I'll let you know what we're doing, and I thank you again. And I appreciate Dale coming through, because I was working hard all day. As soon as he came through the door, I was like, man, I sure hope you studied something.
Yo, I got it. Yo, I'm going to leave you with this one. My man Unique Riley said, we have no unity until we do. We want progress.
Right.
Right on.
Right.
Yo.
You gotta have it. You gotta have it. That's it, man. Listen, it can't be this many rappers in town and not a record label.
There you go.
Think about that for a minute.
Exactly.
It can't be this many people in town with all these bands of money and not a record label.
There you go.
You know why you don't have one? Because you don't know how to make one. You know why you don't know how to make one? Because you don't want to learn. You just want to know. Right. When you want to learn, God will give you everything that you need to learn. That is a fact. We gone.
See you. Chris, you know what? Deuce is off.